Hi everybody, Lori here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm excited to be a part of the Simon Says Stamp All the Joy release blog hop day 2, and everybody wanted to see Hank. So of course I had a couple dog treats. This is Hank. His name is Henry, but we call him Hank the Tank. He's my best friend and I love him. He usually sits right next to me whenever I'm making cards. So whenever you're watching one of my videos, Hank is most likely at my feet. He knows all the things about cards, don't you, Hank? Are you a good boy? Yes, you are. Okay, so I have a fun project to share with you featuring the mid-century holiday plate. I think it's something like that. Might be one of my most favorite Christmas cards this year, maybe ever. I'm telling you, the clean, graphic, minimal, colorful style of it just gets me right in the sweet spot. Also, I don't know why I'm out of breath. I want to say thank you for the very, very warm response to my latest video with the front-facing intro. Kind of a new thing, and everybody was so nice, and it means so much to me, so thank you. I'm going to try to keep the excitement rolling with the YouTube changes. So if there's anything you'd like to see, any ideas or suggestions, I'm open. But we're just going to get right into the blog hop today. I love the new All the Joy release with Simon Says Stamp. Let's get right into it. Okay, so here we have the mid-century holiday plate by Simon Says Stamp that just came out in the new All the Joy release. And I love the design of this. It fits perfectly on an A2 size card, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. But I decided to go a little bit rogue here. I cut my panel larger. My panel is measuring 4 3/4 inches wide by 6 inches tall. You don't have to make it larger. I just like it because I'll show you here when I lay the die on top. It gives just a little extra room around the edges. And that's just a personal preference. You can do it either way you go. I'm going to hold it down with some Easy C pink tape so it stays centered and straight when I run it through my die cutting machine. Take it off camera, run it through the die cutting machine, and now I'm going to pop out all the innards. My favorite tool to do that with is the Place and Pierce Embellishment wand by Simon Says Stamp. And then now I'm going to cut a card base out of some IVORY cardstock. So I like to cut my card base larger than the panel. So 6 1/2 inches tall by, what am I scoring it at? 5 1/4. Scoring it with the Altenew scoreboard at 5 1/4, folding in half. My favorite craft tool ever, the Teflon bone folder, gives you the perfect crease. And then I'm going to cut off that little bit of extra. I have a little bit of extra hanging off. And then you'll see how when I lay the mid-century die cut on top, it gives you that little bit. It's like a 1/4 inch border around the edge. And that, again, is a personal preference, but I absolutely love that look. Testing out a new glue. It's not new, but it's new to me. The My Sweet Petunia Precision Glue Press. I've had it sitting here for a while and I just never opened the box for no reason. I guess I really am happy with my Bearly Arts glue, and when I'm happy with something, I'm hesitant to change it, but I wanted to give this a try. It actually is really, really easy when you pull that trigger, and that's what it says on the description. If you have trouble like with your hands squeezing a glue tube, this Precision Glue Press is for you. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I flipped the mid-century die over, so it's going to cut up, and I'm going to lay all the pieces on top and run it through reverse. This way I can get all the little pieces and all the different colors that I want to glue. It's like putting a puzzle together. This might not be everyone's cup of tea. Maybe it's too tedious, all the little pieces, but for me, I love it. I get in the zone. I get to customize the colors, and this glue press is so easy to use. Now let's talk cardstock. I think pretty much everything I'm using on here is Concord 9th cardstock, which has the most beautiful colors, and it doesn't matter what color you use of cardstock out of the Concord 9th. I swear they designed it so everything looks gorgeous when you combine the color combinations, especially for a holiday card. And then I'm just having a day. I'm gluing in all these little pieces willy-nilly. I wanted to make sure and have a lot of pop of red and a lot of pop of green to really emphasize the holiday vibe. But you could customize this die to get a lot of fun different looks. It doesn't have to look the same every time you make it. If you wanted, you could back this die cut with acetate and make it a shaker. You could ink blend behind it and then just have it open to show all that ink blending. You could use pattern paper. You could switch up the colors. A lot of different looks. But what I was most excited about, do you want to know what I was most excited about? Was, do you see the little pie shapes, the little pizza pie wheel? There's 3 of them. The little pizza pie wheels. I couldn't wait to fill those in with little pies of solid color cardstock in rainbow order. Couldn't wait. And I'm using the other embellishment wand, which is the Place and Score. So there's the Place and Pierce and the Place and Score. And they're both invaluable little embellishment wands. So look at how cute those little, what do you call them? They're like little pizza pies. I don't know. I'm bringing in a little pink here. Again, Concord 9th cardstock for the win. And also, I got to say, I'm loving the My Sweet Petunia Precision Glue Press. And I'll tell you what, it takes a little bit of getting used to having like a gun glue press after using the Bearly Arts, but I don't think it's going to replace my Bearly Arts. I will say I love both of them, how they have that precision glue tip. Love that feature. I'm finished with the inlay. Moving on to the sentiment, pulling out Kathy Zilski's Winter Wishes stamp set. This one also just came out in the new All the Joy release. I'm going to emboss it in white on black cardstock, rubbing it down with that powder brush tool. I'm going to ink up the sentiment with Versamark ink. Listen, here's the deal with sentiments. Most of the time they're an afterthought. And I usually go to the sentiment strips. I trim those puppies up and you know, because they're usually clean and simple and I like that look. If I can't find a sentiment strip, I go straight to Kathy Zilski. She has got a great clean and simple style. A lot of times I love her word dies. This time I decided to emboss white on black. Pour it on Simon Says Stamp white embossing powder, heating that with the heat gun, and then I'm going to use the coordinating die to cut it out. To hold it in place, using some more of that Easy C pink tape. You got CZ Winter Wishes and you got Easy C pink tape. Little foam tape on the back, you know, because dimension is life. And there hasn't been a lot of it with this card. There hasn't been a lot, so it's going to be super duper easy peasy to mail. For embellishment, pulling out these Gumdrop Confetti. They also just came out, and I also just knocked over the embellishment tray, which I do every single time. I knock over that embellishment tray. But I glued on these sequins, scattered them around the sentiment, and this card is finished. I'm in love. Do you love it as much as I love it? It's cheery, happy, clean, simple, not too thick. Make sure and check out the rest of the All the Joy release blog hop with Simon Says Stamp. Hop over to my blog. There's a link in my description if you want to chance to enter the giveaway for the blog hop. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.